Hey, good morning. Good morning. Crypto stream starts right now. Just getting some last minute notes prepared. Got some cool news. But yeah, it's the crypto news for the week, educational edge, and we cover, you know, anything that might be affecting your bags. That's the goal. Get rid of my AI music here. All right. Nice to see some people in the chat already. I know last week I had to do Monday night. Monday night, not so convenient for a lot of people, it seemed. I do have some EU people that pop in Sunday morning. So yeah, I can imagine that the Monday night Eastern time, not convenient for many of you. I don't even know where to start today. We've got some good news. Not a whole lot. I didn't pluck that many stories this week. But like I said, I wanted to cover news that might be affecting your bags. Bitcoin, traditional markets, tokenization, DeFi, and of course, AI. I do have an NFT story today, but really, I want to focus on AI. I believe that AI will be a leading narrative in the next or the imminent crypto bull cycle. So far, that seems to be the case. But really, we talked about this the last couple of weeks. How many AI projects are making a legitimate claim to leveraging AI? And that remains to be seen. I am going to cover a couple more tokens, just to add on to our list. We did cover a few. We did cover a few last week, was it? Or 2 weeks ago? I think 2 weeks ago. We talked about 3 different AI projects, and I pulled 2 more, and then a couple of other interesting AI points as well. We're gonna start with the best performing tokens, and we'll go from there. Hey, I see Bushido Brown in the chat. It's been a while, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But if you don't know me, my name is Joe. I would love to welcome the new people as well as the familiar ones that are always active in the chat. Appreciate that. We got some good headlines. We got some AI stuff. Just AI being leveraged into crypto. We got Bitcoin ETF news. We got some Cosmos. We're going to talk about Cosmos meme coins. I never thought I would ever talk about Cosmos meme coins, but um, I mean, they were hot last week and the week before. They were hot. But yeah, before we get started, quick disclaimer: not financial advice. Just having fun on my live stream, talking about tokens, talking about blockchain, talking about tech, gaming, NFTs, stuff that I like. And you know, this is not financial advice. Like I said, I have a different risk tolerance than most people. Um, I usually make bad decisions with my crypto trades. Do not follow me. You could use this as part of your research, but do your own research. Don't do stupid things with your money, and then say, "Oh, well, I saw it on YouTube." It's not smart. If you're on Twitter, come join YouTube. It's much better. Get to play in the chat. And if anyone else is here watching, say hi in the chat as well. Would like to see who's here. Chat's been fun. Monday night, not so good. Monday night, not many people were talking. Sunday morning, people are maybe they're being lazy. They don't have a lot of things going on yet for the day. That's fine with me. That's what I got going. So I got my drink here. If you can guess what this is, you could win a high five. Some people are going to guess that it's Sambuca. It's not Sambuca, but no, it's coffee, black coffee, iced coffee, I should say. So let's look at. I like to start with the tokens that have been moving, the movers, the shakers, and then of course the losers. Cosmos tokens did really well overall. They did pretty well. So let's get that going here. Um, I just sort these by top 5 over the last 7 days. I don't really look at day-to-day price action. I'm not one of those. But look, Internet Computer, ICP, we talked about them one of the early weeks. They had some deal for, some kind of, um, AI DAO tooling, and it looks like they've doubled in the last 7 days. Bonk is a meme coin on Solana. Somebody told me last night, one of my friends told me last night that, the Solana phones, when they were selling the Solana phones, they weren't selling out. But if you bought a Solana phone, you got a certain amount of this Bonk token. Just like, they threw in like a little meme token as a perk of getting you started with crypto, getting you started on Solana if you want a Solana person, but you bought the phone. So my friend told me last night, did you know that people are arbitraging the phones because now the Bonk is worth more than the phone? I think he said the phones are $600 and the amount of Bonk token that was included is now worth 9. So people are buying the phone for 6, selling the $900 worth of Bonk to make 300, and then they got the Solana phone. So I don't know what you would do with multiple phones, but then you could probably sell the phone, right? I mean, you sell the phone. I don't know. Does the phone come with its own seed phrase? I don't know much about the phone. Maybe we'll have to talk about that next week. Very interesting that Solana produced like a consumer piece of hardware, and I wonder what operate they have their own operating system. Don't know. But let's get in. Look at the Cosmos tokens. Osmosis killing it, killing it, killing it. I don't think Osmosis has been this high since their Binance listing about a year and a year and a month ago. Osmosis just took an absolute beating. They inflated the token to hell. They did redesign the tokenomics, which is definitely positive. They run a chain wide MEV protocol to capture some of that MEV, distribute it to stakers, encouraging people to stake. The token is important for proof of stake. I mean, I don't think you need 75% of your token staked, but you do need token stake to run proof of stake networks. Osmosis is doing well. I have not been holding Osmosis. I sold my Osmo tokens um, between like April and June. So I basically sold near the lows of Osmo. I don't know what I sold it for, between like 60 cents, between like maybe 80 cents down to 40 cents, something like that. I sold my Osmo in chunks. I didn't know what to do with it. Was not confident in it, but it's doing really well. It's probably the most important app in Cosmos. The Osmo token has to do well. I think if you're holding any Cosmos small cap tokens, Osmo has to do well. It's paired up against them, and you want Osmo to do well. And then Injective, my God, Injective was like $1 this time last year. Injective just basically pissed in the face of the bear market. It shot up to $7 from $1 to $7 during the worst time of the bear market. Now it's $30. They have their own budding ecosystem there. You could go into CoinGecko and sort tokens by injective ecosystem. Imagine that. It is a Cosmos coin. Most people don't know. And then there's this Woo token. I don't know anything about it, but look at that. Everything that I just named up over 50%. Not bad. Let's look at the losers. Always some losers. Caspa, I want to buy this now. Maybe is the time. I'm good at catching falling knives. Just buy it all the way down to 0, maybe. BitTorrent. Okay. Luna Classic. Luna Classic was ripping the week before last. Now it's one of the losers. But you know what? This is interesting. The losers, the worst losers, only down 17%. It's not bad. Caspa was on a great run for a while, and so was Chainlink. So you can't. These are probably normal corrections. These tokens, all of these tokens were on the top 5 at some point in the last month. All of these tokens were on the top 5, and now they're correcting. They're correcting more than average because they were rocketing up faster than average. So I'm not worried. I don't own any of these. But obviously Thor Chainlink, Caspa are on my watch list for sure. Maybe I'll buy one of these this week. I don't know. I think Rune could be, and I have to look at the charts, could be a nice little leveraged play on Ethereum and Bitcoin. feel like it moves in multiples. I like stacks for a leveraged Bitcoin play. I like stacks, but maybe I'll pick up some Rune. I don't know. Not financial advice. This is just me thinking out loud because I have an itchy trigger finger. Itchy trigger finger. So those are the movers and the losers. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin ETFs next. Let me pull up my Bitcoin ETF story. Where is it? Where is it? Curious if anyone here holds any exposure to Bitcoin or crypto in their stock portfolio, Bitcoin mining stocks or grayscale funds. My grayscale funds like a year ago were down like 80%. Now they're like pretty much back to even, maybe up a little, maybe down a little. But I mean, I'm not holding those. I'm not holding those because of day-to-day price action. They're in my IRA, so they'll just sit there. I consider those tech plays, I guess. Let's pull up the Bitcoin news. This is from Decrypt. And by the way, I don't vet the sources. I just pull headlines of what I like. I just pull headlines of what I like. You do your own research. I don't know if buying Bitcoin ETFs is better than holding Bitcoin. I would imagine for someone who's like not computer savvy, like I would tell my dad, like, I don't even know if my dad has stocks. I don't think he does. My dad has a 401k. I doubt you could buy ETFs in a 401k. They're pretty much like, they give you like massive index funds with like 1,000 different stocks in there that you can't trade. So here's Van Eck. Van Eck is one of the leading Bitcoin ETF managers, and they chose the ticker HODL for its potential crypto um, investment product. And this is following an SEC decision. And they want to use this lingo, this Bitcoin lingo, maybe to attract some hardcore crypto people. I don't think it's going to work. It's a little cringe, but it's, I mean, you're going to remember it, right? HODL. We talked about the Fidelity one a week or two ago, and they have FBTC. I think that's pretty good. HODL and FBTC. I mean, hard to beat those. They're going to be easy to remember. And this Bitcoin ETF, they're going to focus on top cryptocurrencies. It looks like they are they were fighting to be one of the leaders in this Bitcoin ETF race. The fund manager got to choose this HODL title. They want to stay like hip to the the orange pill laser eye community, I guess, which is becoming like almost toxic maximalists in crypto. I don't know how you guys feel, but the laser eyes, the orange pill people, everything must be Bitcoin. I hold no fiat currency or stocks. All my net worth is tied up in Bitcoin. Good for you. Good for you. I don't think even Michael Saylor's that extreme, but yeah, HODL, not bad. And they'll stay relevant. They'll stay relevant, and it'll cause some old people to be like, "What is HODL? What is HODL?" And then people have to explain, like, "Oh, from 2015, some drunk kid was meant to write hold and wrote HODL and just typed it out, and it just caught." Some of the early Bitcoin memes are, I don't understand. I don't understand the Pepe the Frog thing at all. I don't get it. This is an ugly ass frog. HODL I think is funny. I think HODL's funny. Uh Bitcoin ETF, yeah. I think I'll probably hold some. I think I have to at this point. I don't think I have enough Bitcoin, so I'll get some exposure that way. I have some mining stocks that are doing terrible. I don't understand how mining does worse than the actual underlying asset, but it happens in gold and silver sometimes too. So that's Bitcoin news. And now we mentioned Solana. People were arbing the Solana phone with the bonk token, but I think if you just look at what's been happening the last 2 or 3 months, Solana and Avalanche have been really doing well token wise. Investors are showing a lot of interest in these tokens. Solana took an absolute beating in the bear market. It got crushed in the bear market. It was closely tied up with FTX nonsense. It came out, and I don't know if it was confirmed, but it came out that that FTX the insiders were purposely halting Solana's chain to liquidate people that were leveraged. I don't know if that was confirmed, but I remember reading about that. They did terrible. FTX was a heavy investor. And Solana right now is the sixth largest cryptocurrency by market cap. Avalanche is doing really well too. I think it's like a $15 billion market cap at this point. It's Avax token, which was one of the winners. The two of these did excellent during the last bull market as well. But Solana has caught the interest of JP Morgan, Visa. They've used the Solana blockchain to tokenize different portfolios. Sol is trading around $70, $75. It's just been ripping since like late October. And Avalanche up as well, trading like in the mid 30s, which is nice. They have, these two blockchains are quite different from what we're used to in Cosmos, definitely different than what we're used to in Ethereum as far as proof of stake tokens go. And I try to put some educational edge into these streams. So I did a little bit of research to compare them side by side. And just a quick rundown. It seems like Solana has the edge with scaling, right? Transactions per second way higher than Avalanche. Also, the average number of transactions per block way higher than Avalanche. Solana is cheaper. So a lot of those transactions could be wash trading or spam. Yeah, I'll put this up. They both have actually very similar logos. Not very creative logos, but who cares? If your product is good, eventually people will just gravitate towards your logo and they'll recognize it, right? But yeah, Solana definitely has the edge in scaling solutions so far, right? Things can change. They burn half the fees, but the fees are minuscule, so I don't know if this really puts a dent in the token supply. They have about $1 billion total value locked, which is significant. They also have 5 times the number of active wallets than Avalanche, but like I said, I think, this is my opinion, when you have cheaper gas fees, you're going to get a lot more nonsense transactions. I think we see that in Cosmos. I bet you a lot of the Cosmos transactions are just people claiming rewards like less than $1. Like they have 50 cents worth of staking rewards because gas is so cheap in Cosmos, under a penny, maybe under a tenth of a penny on most chains. People just might claim the 50-cent rewards like every day, which is nonsense, right? Solana is really cheap too. So there's that. Avalanche is different. Avalanche is interesting because they're EVM compatible. On Solana, you have an EVM solution. It's called Neon. I've been looking into that because I want a Solana layer 2 or a Solana app or layer 2 token. Neon is an interesting one. It's up big. But Avalanche is EVM compatible. That means you could just take smart contracts from Ethereum and deploy them on Avalanche. In Cosmos, this is how Evmos was supposed to attract developers, right? Solidity. I think it's Solidity. Avalanche actually runs 3 blockchains that each do different things. Kind of reminds me of Celestia without being Celestia, right? Celestia is a little different, but Avalanche runs 3 blockchains and they burn all of their transaction fees. So it's unclear how the network generates revenue. Maybe that's not a focus at this point. A lot of times when things are new, startups, they don't really care about revenue. They're trying to scale. But Avalanche, in terms of reliability, does have Solana beat. I mentioned Solana was halted a couple of times. They have roughly $1 billion TVL, which is not bad. What I notice about Solana when I go on DeFi Llama, Solana has the 1 billion TVL, but then it shows 1.7 billion in stable coins. I think that's huge. I think you need stable coins liquidity on a chain. This is why lately I've been interested in Kava in Cosmos. They have a deal with Tether. Tether's supposed to be giving them steady liquidity over the next, several months, years, whatever. A couple $100 million in Tether liquidity can't hurt. And Kava also is a EVM, right? So you could run, it's a little difficult to go back and forth on Kava between Cosmos and the EVM, but I'm going to make a video on that. But long story short, Solana, Avalanche, two of the winners in this early bull market. Is it a baby bull market? Is it a bull trap? I don't know. I'm not a trader. I don't care really. It's just nice to see some relief with prices. Nice to see Bitcoin over 40,000. I remember I was saying for months, Bitcoin has to go over 31,000. It has to 31.5, 31,000, 32,000 was a key level for Bitcoin. Everything else hinges on Bitcoin unless you're injective, right? Injective, you could just run. It's always a bull market for INJ, but everything else, it depends on Bitcoin. Anyone that's denying Bitcoin, I'm sorry, I think you're dumb. You have to watch Bitcoin, you have to watch Ethereum, and then these other tokens tend to rally or dump off the back of whatever Bitcoin is doing. So that's that. That's my Solana Avalanche educational minute right there. Now we're going to talk about Microsoft and AI. And like I said before, I think AI is it's going to be a huge narrative and part of this bull run, similar to the way metaverse was part of the last bull run. Even though the metaverse projects were so immature to really make an actual impact, we'll talk about some AI news throughout the stream. Artificial intelligence is like the metaverse to me in terms of narrative. So this is a, you know, obviously Microsoft is a leader in artificial intelligence development, and they formed a partnership to discuss AI's role with respect to the needs of workers. They made a partnership with the American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations. So obviously, if you're a union worker, you've been your union's been fighting all these fights throughout history to protect your job. I'm a member of a union. Our union's job is to increase membership any way they can, which means I'm a teacher. They fight for teachers not to get fired, and they always fight for any excuse to hire more teachers. It's how my union works, and I would imagine that's how all unions work. If you're worried about AI taking your job, right? Whether you're Teamsters Union, which I think is the biggest union in the country by membership, it's got to be number one or number two, and then my union is right after that. Right after that. So they make this partnership, which is interesting, and they want to basically share information about trends on AI. People have to be aware of how artificial intelligence is going to affect their job, even if they think it's not going to. You could be a manual laborer, but you might have AI affecting the way you do your job, right? You might take a bunch of measurements for a job and you might run it through some AI application to, let you know the materials you need, the the regulations you need to be aware of before you start some construction, something like that, right? And they want to incorporate worker perspectives into this to help shape public policy supporting these workers. So, like I said, these unions, they want membership. They need membership to be, strong, right? So they want the workers to be supported as AI just changes the landscape on many professions. Many professions. So the partnership, which is interesting, I'm going to read this right off the summary I have here, includes a neutrality framework for future worker organizing by these AFL-CIO affiliated unions. I don't know if that means that they're going to be forced to negotiate and compromise more, or if they're agreeing not to reject AI in the workplace in exchange for some job security. But Microsoft is agreeing to provide AI education for workers and students, offer technical workshops, career help, and all that. I think this is interesting because you have private sector taking the lead, right? Obviously, they know regulations are coming from our government, which on average, our average government lawmaker is probably like 77 years old, probably has no idea how to use a cell phone other than to commit insider trading, right? So AI is people are going to fear for their jobs, right? So this is a partnership that Microsoft is taking the initiative. It benefits Microsoft also, right? Microsoft doesn't want their technology being demonized right out of the gate before it has a chance to make an impact. I get that. And this is something to watch. I think this is going to be a theme to watch, not only in crypto, but in traditional markets. There will be sectors of the stock market that don't do as well as others in the next 5-10 years because of the speculation that AI is going to completely disrupt for better or for worse, right? Then there'll be some sectors that do really well because AI is going to enhance the value there. So AI, we'll talk about AI a little more later, but let's go to Cardano. Most people know that I was deep into Cardano before coming to Cosmos. And when I was in Cardano, Cardano had no smart contracts, no DeFi to speak of. They did custodial trading of NFTs, and that's about it. But even with that, the ADA token somehow reached a $100 billion market cap. Cardano is a big ecosystem as far as users. I don't know how many of those users have stuck out the bear market, but they had a lot of active wallets at one point. And right now, I should say over the last year, there has been like a budding DeFi ecosystem on Cardano. There's lots of project tokens that are affiliated with their applications, whether it's lending. There are quite a few lending protocols on Cardano, but the TVL of all these Cosmos-based tokens has jumped to about 440 million. Might be off. This article's from a couple of days ago. And the previous peak was in April. They hit 330 million, and then the TVL dropped after April. And this the article here is from CoinDesk. They speculate that the growth is likely driven by just a boost in Ethereum alternatives, right? We've talked about Solana and Avalanche. People are looking for alternatives to Ethereum, either speculation wise or maybe genuine interest in the underlying tech. Ethereum's kind of outdated, right? It has tremendous first mover advantage, but there will always be people looking for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And this will push users, but also developers and speculators to other blockchains looking for returns, looking to allocate capital and all that. Cardano's DeFi ecosystem has surged. You can't deny whatever you think about Cardano. You can't deny it. It's still, top 15 or so on CoinGecko most of the time. And it says here, I'm going to read this right off the notes. The total amount of capital locked across all DeFi protocols, all. That's Ethereum, which is the number one ecosystem. And I believe Tron is number two, 50 billion. So DeFi, the market cap for DeFi is only 50 billion. I should say, not market cap. The TVL for DeFi is only 50 billion. I mean, that's nothing. That's like the market cap of Coinbase, little higher, right? So that's like a medium size or small to medium sized financial company if you want to compare apples and oranges a little bit. But yeah, Cardano, I don't think I have any Cardano project tokens, maybe some NFT project tokens I was speculating on and I forgot about. But they do have some lending platforms over there. There are a few DEXs, although I don't like the DEXs and I do not like the DEX tokens for sure. But yeah, 440 million, right? That was the peak last week, it looks like. And there's lending protocol called Indigo. I don't know if that's the leading lending protocol, but they were leading in growth over the past week. And then MinSwap their TVL surged to 100 million on a DEX. I mean, that's a good starting point. 100 million. That's, you know, um, not a not a small number. How much of that TVL is actually liquid? Probably none of it. Right? Probably not much. But here's something interesting. I probably should have got to this quicker. There is a stable coin on Cardano called JED, and I believe this will account for a lot of the TVL. As JED is DJED is issued, ADA has to be locked up. And look, sometimes TVL is a good indicator of what's on that platform. Other times TVL is an indicator of just how inefficient these DeFi protocols are. I believe DJED has like a 4-to-1 collateral ratio to their stablecoin. You got to lock up ADA. So ADA, with already a very small inflation, very small inflation, supply squeeze, could Cardano ellipse that 100 billion market cap now that they actually have DeFi? Like maybe some whales coming over, take advantage of slightly cheaper trades compared to Ethereum. Happy Sunday to IBC Gang, another live streamer. But yeah, a lot of people rode ADA up to the 100 billion. Some people sold. I round tripped some of my bag, but I did sell on the way down at like $1.75, $2, no, $1.50, $1.75. So a lot of that I put into illiquid JPEGs. You can't see this. And by the way, I should have mentioned this earlier. All the links for all of the articles here, they're worth reading through. I'm just giving a quick summary. I'll put them in the description of the video as soon as I'm done. But let's zip through the rest of the news that I've got and get to the fun stuff. Microsoft, another Microsoft AI article, and it says here, Microsoft releases Phi 2, a small language model, outperforms these others. What I found interesting about this was that they call it a text-to-text AI program. It's small enough to run on a mobile device. That's huge. People are going to use their phones for everything. Tablets, laptops. Some people need their laptops for work, but in the end, I think most people are going to do most of their computing on mobile devices, and this is huge. I use some AI stuff on my desktop computer. It takes a long time to render the images that I try to produce. I use it for art. I have fun with the AI art generators. And this product, unfortunately, is licensed for research only, not commercial use, at least not now. And if you're looking to build products with this, for right now, you are a little bit out of luck. But yeah, things adapting to mobile, I think, is always good for that tech. And then we'll get to my NFT story. It's been a while since we talked about NFTs. We usually talk about inscriptions. This week, no. But Pudgy Penguins, one of the more visible, recognizable NFT projects. They announced a Web3 gaming venture. Gaming, always good, right? Get more people, hopefully, to pay attention to crypto and blockchain. But they're going to call this Pudgy World. Very creative. It'll be on one of the Ethereum layer 2s. So Pudgy Penguins, gaming venture, one of the Ethereum layer 2s, ZK Sync era. The game, which will launch next year, soon, right? 2024 soon. And it'll be open to all gamers, NFT holders, and those who bought the Pudgy Penguin toys will receive special perks. The game will feature 2 hero characters, they're saying here, Pudgy and Peaches. I don't know what that means. I don't have any of these. I don't follow the project. I just know it's one of the top on Ethereum. And these characters will guide players through the adventures, and NFT holders will benefit from royalties from related products. So one way to use NFTs right there is to direct royalties, payouts, prizes to the wallets that are holding the NFTs. If you're making NFTs, and you're not using some of the available tech for that token standard, you're a boring PFP project. Guess what? If you're not the number one PFP project, at least in your ecosystem, you're boring. It's just how it is. There can only be one number one PFP project. You go on Twitter, all these people have their PFPs. If it's not your project, I think you failed as a PFP project. So do something interesting. NFTs have been boring. I've been extremely bored of NFTs. Extremely bored. So there you go. That's a mini rant that you get. Sometimes you get some good rants. Sometimes you get a mini rant. That's a mini rant. And we'll go to meme coins. My God, I hate talking about this. So we're going to talk about meme coins on Cosmos for a bit. And here we go. If you're new to Cosmos, I cover Cosmos mostly on my YouTube channel. I love inscriptions. I love ETH. I love getting out to other ecosystems, but Cosmos is where I spend most of my time. And for the last 2 years or so, we've had a meme blockchain. In Cosmos, it is very common to spin up a blockchain for one specific application or one specific purpose because the tech stack is just makes it easy for developers. In a couple of weeks, you have your own chain spun up. Turns out this is super expensive if you have a bad application on your chain. That's the whole purpose of the chain, right? But here we go. Chihuahua. And I got some crap on Twitter for not talking about Chihuahua. Sorry, but here we go. Chihuahua was its own blockchain, was supposed to be a meme related to Shiba Inu, kind of making fun of dog tokens. And let's look at that wonderful price action for people that thought it was a good idea to buy early. So here you go. So if you bought here between a half a penny and a penny, you bought the top, right? You bought the top. Then in a matter of weeks, you were down to here, a couple more weeks down to here. And then if you held through all of this, sucks for you. Really sucks for you. But let's look at the last 30 days. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. On Twitter, in conjunction with some big Twitter accounts who pumped this, hopefully not for their own financial gain, but maybe just for the fun of memes, hopefully. Here's the token. I don't even know. There's 4 zeros before the 5. 4 zeros before the 5. And then we get to like here. Now there's only 3 zeros before the 5. So that's a 10x to here. And now only 2 zeros before the 1. So this had a crazy run up. Right? Crazy run up. People are having so much fun with meme coins. But on this blockchain, it's connected to Cosmos. You could use Wawa token on the Chihuahua blockchain. There's a DEX. There's an NFT marketplace. I think there's a game. There are NFTs. So it's like a meme token, but the blockchain has some stuff. Has more stuff than the non-meme blockchains for the most part in Cosmos. A lot of Cosmos chains. This is live. A lot of Cosmos chains. This is a big secret about Cosmos. I'm not talking about the Cosmos chain itself. I'm not talking about Osmosis, Stargaze. I'm not talking about those. But a lot of Cosmos chains, they don't have any transactions. Did you know that? They don't have any transactions. They're a complete, utter waste of computing power, electricity, energy, and time. People in the chat, I will not name the blockchains that have no activity on them whatsoever. Maybe people claiming staking rewards, maybe validators selling. I don't know. The Chihuahua does actually have a mini ecosystem there. I can't believe I used the word ecosystem, but it's an ecosystem, right? NFT marketplace. There's a white whale DEX. You could swap. There might be some staking derivatives on Chihuahua. I don't know. But there's actually another meme token on Chihuahua, and I don't know much about it. It is called Puppy. Let's look at Puppy. We're already at that point. Yeah, it's not even on CoinGecko, but um, we're already at that point of the market where we're on meme tokens, unfortunately. So maybe this whole Bitcoin run up to 45K was just a giant bull trap. We'll look at this as like a dead cat bounce. The traders will throw up as Bitcoin tumbles back down to like under 20K. But at least we got our meme fun in. Some people, I'm sure, had fun dumping Wawa token on other people somewhere near the top of this, somewhere near the top here. Puppy token is less of a supply than Chihuahua. And what's interesting about Chihuahua, actually, I should mention this. They had a community. They have a community. The community around this time last year redesigned the tokenomics, lowered the inflation, created a net staking yield for Chihuahua. So if you were compounding it through, I don't know, how many weeks, months is this? It's like a year. I hope nobody was compounding for this long. I hope you realize how much risk there is. You can't just say, "Oh, I know it's going to pump. I know it's going to go up in the next bull market." No, you don't. You assume so much risk when you're holding these coins that sell off 99.9%. I don't care what you think you know. You are missing out on so much opportunity 90% of the time holding tokens through this dead period. I'll give you an example. Let's say you cut your losses with Wawa, somewhere you got sick of holding it somewhere over here. This is a year ago. You sell it, you take the 90% loss, but then you put some of that into Injective. Injective did a 7x in very short order during the bear market and then did another from there, 4 or 5x. So Injective's up 30x since the low. If you sell the low, you have to get over the mental block of selling the low. If you're putting into something else that's also at an all-time low, you're not really selling the low, you're also buying the low. So please understand the amount of risk you're taking holding these shit coins. It's fun to hold meme coins, great, but I'm sure there are people that compounded and then look, they get to what did I do here? They get to here. This is market cap. So the market cap is different than the price action because of the change in tokenomics. They put a burn in and all that. People burning these tokens, but like you held all through this just for that. The chain could have halted before that. So that's my meme token. My meme token spiel. Speaking of halting chains, and we're going to get to AI tokens, serious AI tokens after this. Speaking of halting chains, here's Kerberos, another dog token in Cosmos. This was its own blockchain. I don't think it ever had an application on the chain. But there were liquidity pools on Osmosis. Whoever had Kerberos token was able to yield farm from another blockchain that did have a lot of liquidity and sell it using a complete garbage token. But this is what's interesting about Kerberos. In Cosmos, you can move tokens to different blockchains, right? So there's some Kerberos on Osmosis. There's probably some on Juno. There's probably some on a couple other chains. This chain was halted. So anything that was on the chain is not accessible now. But little bits of the supply were on other chains. So you have this supply squeeze. Then they set up a DAO recently because meme coins are hilarious. Let's set up another supply squeeze so that we could dump on each other. They set up a DAO, and of course, the DAO has staking. And of course, you have to lock your tokens up to be part of the DAO. So a supply squeeze on top of a supply squeeze was attempted. And let's look at if it was successful, because I don't like following these meme coins because I don't want to have to like worry about a split second pump out. Very similar to Wawa. So people that like maybe they had this token and they just forgot about it because it was in a liquidity pool on Osmosis. If they unbonded it, they were able to sell into somewhat of a pump. Good for you. But remember this, only one person sells the top. Only one token gets sold at the top. So if you're so good at this, great, you're better than me. But I think people were just like they have PTSD from going through the whole bear market, and they're just dying to like get any kind of price action that's favorable, and they hopefully they sold into that. Let's not have this going on the whole bull market with Kerberos and Wawa. I mean, Wawa has legitimate apps, so I can't throw it in the same category. But yeah, Cosmos is now has some meme coins. It was Kerberos. We looked at Wawa, and then Puppy, which is on Wawa. Maybe there's some liquidity pools on other chains as well. There you go. There you go. Let's get to the feature here, which is AI tokens. And by the way, last time I talked about AI tokens, it was called the top 3 AI tokens. That's not my opinion. I'm just going by coin market cap because you can search by AI, right? AI category. So I have to go full screen, make it look bad. Let's do some rearranging here of the dashboard. You guys have time to get a drink, finish your breakfast, whatever you got going on over there. I'm going to it's fun. It's fun, but someone always gets dumped on, so you get to lose twice with these meme tokens. I'm sure less than 10% of people made money, right? Liquidity is so low. As soon as one big wallet sells, the price gets pummeled, probably for good. What are the odds of it getting bought up? How can there be enough liquidity to buy up the dips on 3 different meme coins in Cosmos? Right? It's not right. It's just not right. It's just not right. Let's go to this. No. Yeah, we'll go to this. We'll go to this. It's definitely fun if you sell the top. I'll give everyone that. But no one sells the top. No one sells the top. No one sells it. They say they do. They say they do. I don't think I've ever sold the top of anything. Okay. So you click cryptocurrencies by categories here on CoinGecko, and here are the categories. Like I mentioned earlier, Injective has its own category now. So this is like a major. Injective has become a major DeFi blockchain. Where's AI? Here's AI. So all I do is this. I look at market cap and I sort biggest to smallest. And wow, Akash, yeah, number 4. But we talked about these 3: Fetch, Render, BitTensor. We talked about these, and I just released the excerpt from that live stream to my YouTube the other day. And if you just want to watch that part, it's only like 18 minutes or something like that. But we're going to talk about different ones now that are not only just using AI to get attention on their project, which I think projects should do. I think if you have a good project, but like no one's buying your token and you need people to buy your token, I think you should incorporate AI somehow. Somehow. AI, machine learning, put it into the protocol somehow. Somehow. Let's make this bigger so you could see. There we go. So I looked at, let me get my clipboard here. Actually use a clipboard. I use a clipboard and a pencil to do this. We're going to look at kind of an OG project. Project is, I mean, the token is NMR, the ERC20 token, Numeraire. Numeraire. So here it is. This launched in like 2017. Let's look at the max. Yeah, 2017 into 2018. It's had some wild ups and downs. Last bull market, it ran up to over $80. Now it's trading for 12, 13 bucks. Okay. And I'm not recommending you buy the token. I just want people to see what's actually being done with AI and blockchain. Don't buy the token just because you saw it on my YouTube. I don't own this token. I like it because I like that it's a legitimate project. So Numerai it's on Ethereum, so it's an ERC20. And this is a summary off the website. It's a data science competition where you build machine learning models to predict the stock market. So they're leveraging AI machine learning for just this predictions model, and they crowdsource it. It's basically, they describe it as a math competition. It's open to everyone around the world. And they have basically 100 times more people contributing to this model than your average hedge fund. And they call themselves the last hedge fund. And people that are from traditional finance are involved in this. This is not just like someone jumping on the bandwagon of hedge funds. But right now, hedge funds have highly correlated performance, right? They duplicate each other's research. They do it in secret because they don't want anyone to steal their secrets. But in the end, they're looking at the same indicators to put together their models. The hedge funds are highly correlated. But with Numeraire, they're able to source original signals that are not incorporated, or at least not weighted heavily by these traditional hedge funds. So go to the website, actually. You don't want to stare at a chart. You get the idea, right? Go to the website. It's a cool website. Look at that. It's fancy. The hardest data science tournament in the world. Predict the stock market. I like this. It's like a real product. It's amazing. In blockchain, we're used to not having products. We're used to having tokens, and then like a big spike and then a big crash and then nothing. But basically, in this data science tournament, the tools are provided in a transparent manner. You could pull the code right off the website to start with, and then users can build machine learning models. You don't have to be part of a hedge fund. You don't have to be a TradeFi expert to do this. You could just be a math guy, right? And not everyone is going to do this, but it is open to everyone. And every single day, people are submitting data from markets. This crowdsourced data gets combined, and they create this model, this meta model, incorporating the best individual models to predict financial markets, right? So you could submit some signal, and if you're really confident that you submitted an original signal, you could stake it. And I don't know how the staking works, but they call it staking. And this Numeraire token, this NMR token, it pays based on originality. So I guess if your signal is original and also producing results, and you're one of the only people that submitted the signal, you can get paid. You can get paid. And the goal here is to get as many signals as possible to correctly predict the stock market, that only one hedge fund is needed, and it's going to be this one. That's a lofty goal, but it's a good goal, right? They can constantly seek to optimize this meta model that eventually, if this runs forever, we'll have every possible data point feeding into this model. And like I said, these models get staked. NMR, that token, is used to reward performance. Now, what I don't get is why someone like me would buy the token. Can I bet on signals? Can I earn from the models that I think are good? I'll have to do some more digging. They're very careful here, and I actually appreciate this to an extent. They're very careful not to pump the token. They are talking strictly about the goal of their protocol here. So on some level, you have to appreciate that. You have to appreciate that. They're not just looking for a quick pump. This looks like a extreme long-term project. And yeah, you could download some data to get started. If you're a math guy, you could get some example scripts. You can copy them to get started, and you submit predictions to control this hedge fund. You build reputation points based on how good your model is and how original it is. There's a leaderboard, and you could stake. And it says here 31 million in this token has been paid. So there's sell pressure here, but There has to be a reason to buy the token, otherwise this would be 0, and it's not. It's not. So, not sure what you guys think of this, if you've ever seen anything similar to this, but this is an old project, 2017. It's like 6, 7 years old by now. Let's look at another one that actually has a use case here. I shouldn't say use case, a product, and they use AI for that product. So where was I? I was here. Um, this token is it's a much newer token on Arbitrum, Mosaic. Mosaic, look at that. It's killing it. Up 3%, 5 million market cap. So this is a baby compared to Numeraire. But here you go. Started off less than a half a penny. Now it's bouncing around just under 10 cents. So it's done a 20x since everything has everything has gone up. AI tokens have done pretty well. Done pretty well. So I'll go to the website. And I did listen, I summarized this for you, but I'll put the websites down below. This is actually a rough website to navigate. There's things going on here. And this is an A yield farming protocol that uses a token on Arbitrum. So they call it automatic farming. You get to farm automatically on multiple. It says every blockchain, but let's say multiple blockchains. You could deposit and withdraw on. I'm sorry, the protocol can deposit and withdraw on the chain in any coin or LP token. It says any, but I would imagine it's the main one, right? The ETH layer twos, Solana, and all that. Supposedly they have a highly experienced team, although I did no research on the team. And their AI is called Archimedes. Archimedes is a mathematician that figured out that if you fill the bathtub up all the way, and you go in the bathtub, some water spills out. Makes a mess. So it's like when you're a kid, you fill up your drink, your high C up to the top of the glass, and you try to put ice in it. Right? A really famous mathematician figured that out. But the AI's goal is to take a lot of the human element out of yield farm. And there is human element. Yield farm, there's indecision, there's too many choices. And you don't know where to put your money. You put it, you're like, oh, I like this protocol. You do some yield farming, and then like a day later, you're like, no, I like this one. I got to take from here. The AI is supposed to take care of all that. And something they describe as yield decay, right? There's transaction fees and all that that might make it not profitable to yield farm protocol over the other, or to keep rotating your capital into these different yield farming opportunities. And of course, risks. I don't know how they program risks in, but they describe risks that they focus on are the ones where moving positions farm to farm and involve cross-chain transactions. Right, this is going to save users time. It's going to allow people to farm profits in a short amount of time. User funds do get moved chain to chain. You're allowing the protocol to do this on your behalf, and it hunts down sustainable yield versus just inflationary reward like token emissions. It's something that I hope more projects make the distinction between actual yield and token emissions. You'll hear real yield, real yield, real yield all the time, especially in Cosmos. So um, this will also auto compound. Right, that's what I have here. Auto compounding. The primary liquidity pool is on Camelot. That's on Arbitrum. It's a DEX. You know, Don Kryptonium has been videos on Camelot. You guys can hear this annoying website. I hear it on my head. Let's go to Gap. So here we go. So here's Hercules. This is the first field farming vault, and there is another one coming. Hopefully, you guys can hear that beat. I can hear it. So this is what it looks like. Fancy, fancy. There you go. Let's do that. I like sometimes you can see my ceiling behind the backdrop and then put the overlay. That's why I do it. Not because it's colorful. But yeah, this it's an 11% stablecoin basket. you're a stablecoin holder, you don't mind the risks, you want something to manage it for you, 11%. There is another vault coming called Theseus. I guess they're gonna go with the Greek theme, although it looks like on the website. Yeah, this is smart. So they're going with a Greek theme. Now it's saying 7% on Hercules. So I guess it's changing based on the opportunities that the AI finds. And there is this XMOZ token. So I guess you're gonna buy the Mosaic token and then you'll uh, exchange it or you'll deposit it and they'll give you this XMOZ token, which accrues the rewards. So they have to use a derivative. And this is we're gonna go to June. I don't know if you've ever gone to June, but it's a pretty intense analytics dashboard. This is the market cap. This is the TVL. I don't think this is the market cap of the token, but here's, let me see, I can switch it. No, that is the market cap of the token. So you can use June for some of these tokens and protocols. You can see it launched 3 months ago. Looks like they started getting some TVL end of October, and as a result, they've got about 2 million in liquidity. So there's, but here's the thing with AI and crypto, artificial intelligence, DeFi, artificial finance, ArtFi. I just made that up. I don't know if that's what it's going to be called. Do you own a token? I don't know. Why can't I just deposit stable coins and accrue rewards that way? Why do I need a token? And what I noticed the trend is on Ethereum is people want this protocol, USDT token, it trades on Uniswap. They put a transaction fee that goes back to the team to fund their ongoing development. I get the team has to be funded. I don't think this is the way to do it, but I do see this as a trend. Like, do you really want to put a 5% fee on top of the other slippage that you pay for these micro cap tokens? Do you really want to put that fee and deter people from buying it, selling it when you're so small? Don't you want to scale out? Like have 100 million market cap and then put a 1% fee. You make more money. My biggest problem in crypto is that these protocols are not optimized for the end user. Intelligence, yes, I think it's great to implement this. But if you're not going to build your protocol for the end user, who are you building it for? Yourself? Why do you need to put a 5% fee to make money? Why don't you have skin in the game of your own protocol? Where's your money? Why don't you hold the token? And if that token's um, accruing rewards, you're going to make money. I don't like these fees. Oh, it's still having some audio issues. We're supposed to get some storms here. Internet's going to be shot. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. What I was saying was some of these teams have really small market cap tokens that apparently they need to be traded to fund development, and they're putting a 5% fee on Uniswap that goes back to them. It's too much. 1%. Increase the market cap. Do a better job. Make your protocol better. Do some marketing. Attract liquidity. Have more vaults. You'll get more TVL, and you'll make more money with a 1% fee on a $100 million market cap than you will with 5%. Right? So I've seen that with a couple of tokens. I bought one like an idiot. Paid 5% fee. Liquidity was so low. Paid like 6% slippage, and then plus whatever other fees. So I paid like 12% to hold this micro cap AI token. How's my audio, guys? Just let me know in the chat. I read the chat. Hopefully it's all right. So that's my live stream. I'm not really- And I did have some other AI stuff to talk about. I'll bring that up quickly. I'll bring it up quickly. You guys can check it out. And you can see that there are some products without a token. And like I said, my biggest problem with crypto is that it's clear that a lot of these tokens are not necessary. They're used to, for the teams to pay themselves, when they could be doing it with revenue from the protocol. Listen, you're launching an application on a blockchain. You don't have the same overhead cost as a startup that has to buy a building, get them paid for an office manager, all this stuff. Just launching it on the internet, you should have almost no. Mhm. This. Feel good, guys? I'll end it. It's not working. Check this out. Test, 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 test. People in the chat, let me know. No one's left yet, so it can't be that. We're having audio issues right now. Continue this next time. I wanted to show you some protocols that they don't use a token. It's amazing. Token causes problems. How are you supposed to launch something in the United States with a token when it's it's illegal to launch these tokens in some places if you do it legitimately. So we find those products for you. We'll wrap it up with the sound better. It's not the mic connection. So we have a storm here. It's probably the internet. So I'll end it here. See you later. Hopefully next time we don't have these troubles.